Welcome to my California garden in November. And today I'm doing one of the things that is vital for my spring garden, and that's planting for a spring explosion of color with loads of bulbs. I'm putting in Asiatic lilies, drumstick alliums, hyacinths, Grecian windflowers, daffodils, and gladiolas. It's going to be a riot of color and something for the eyes to behold. Years ago, when I first started gardening, I remember thinking when I was planting my first bulbs, was it really worth it? All this work, all this digging, all the time that I spent putting in those bulbs, was it going to be worth it? Because it could be months before I even knew if this was going to do anything in my garden. But I planted those bulbs with the hope that someday, soon, I'd walk outside and I'd see something bursting through the ground. And it was that promise that I was looking for. Because really, here's the thing. You plant those bulbs, and sometimes you forget that you've done it. Sometimes you forget, and lo and behold, in the springtime, there they are, sure enough, those daffodils, which in my garden come first, and the tulips, and the gladiolas. And oh yeah, I thought that first year, it was so worth it. And so every fall, I plant bulbs, more and more bulbs every year. And this year was no different, except that I had my beds ready, but there was a storm coming, and I really needed to get those bulbs in the raised beds now because the storm was coming and it's supposed to rain clear up until I leave on my trip to Ireland. So now's the time, girl. Get yourself going. Get those bulbs planted so you can reap the benefits in the springtime. Drumstick alliums are one of my favorite bulbs to plant, and they come up in the late spring and bloom into the early summer, and the bees love them. And they just provide this cheeriness to the garden that time of year. And they have great movement. They dance in the breeze, and it's really a pretty sight to see in the garden. So I make sure that I plant some drumstick alliums every year and mix them in my beds. This year I'm planting all of my taller bulbs and the late blooming bulbs towards the back of my beds. And among those tall bloomers are the Asiatic lilies. They have beautiful, vibrant colors, and they come in all kinds of colors, pinks and oranges and yellows, and they're really very beautiful, long-lasting flowers that bloom in the late spring and into the early summer. And the foliage on Asiatic lilies are beautiful too. They hold up even long after the blooms have faded and you've cut those blooms off. And really a no-brainer for your garden. You've got to have tulips in your garden for spring. They're just beautiful, beautiful plants. And the blooms on them, so many different colors available. So get you some tulips and get those planted in for the spring. The weather was changing quickly, and I needed to get these bulbs in these beds. I had 3 more beds to do, and boy, did I need to get in a hurry because it looked like it was changing fast. I ordered all of my bulbs from Brex this year, and I'm hoping to have a really good display of color in all of the bulbs. I have ordered from Brex before and really had great results. I'm expecting the same this year. Now with tulips, you do need to keep in mind that they need to go in the ground before your average first frost date. So check with your area where you live, your growing zone, your zip code to find out what your first frost date is. Because tulips need to go through that freezing process. It helps to activate the bulbs and helps them to ensure they're going to bloom. So really important that you do check that out. And if you're not sure how to find out, all you need to do is Google or use your search engine and type in, what is my growing zone? And what is my average first frost date? and it'll ask for your zip code, and there you go. You'll have the information that you need. Hyacinths are another one of my favorite blooming bulbs, and they come up in the early to mid-spring, and they just have such vibrant color, and I love the blues and purples. They just add so much to the garden. They're a lower height than the previous bulbs that I've mentioned, but they're really beautiful, and they're going to pack a punch of color right in the front of the beds. Right alongside the Grecian windflowers, it's going to be a really beautiful display down there. Another great place to get information about spring bulbs and what bulbs do well in your area is to contact your local Master Gardeners program. And they can let you know in their experience what does well in your area, along with how to care for those bulbs. And here's something that might be helpful to you too. Sometimes you plant bulbs and you can't remember where you put them. Get out your phone, record it, do a video. Video yourself planting those bulbs, point that camera down where you're working, and you'll be able to have that as a record. When you want to plant annuals and perennials around that bed, you'll know exactly where you can and can't put them. I hope that's helpful for you. It's sure been a big help to me because I had the habit of planting, getting in there and digging up my bulbs by mistake because I was wanting to put an annual plant right in that hole. So this will be helpful to you, I hope, because it was a lot of help for me. In fact, I think it's really a good idea to video and to record your work in the garden and your progress in the garden. Even if you don't want to do something like YouTube or any kind of social media with it, it still personally gives you a record of what you're doing in the garden, what happened last year, so that you can remember, oh yeah, I need to do that this year. It's just so many benefits to filming your garden as the seasons go on. In combination, I also use my phone calendar and I put things in dates, times of the year when I need to remember to plant things, like my spring bulbs, and like spreading out alyssum seeds, and just various tasks that I need to do in the garden. It helps me to remember so that I'm not missing an essential part of something that I really enjoy in the garden, like planting bulbs. I need to make sure that I keep myself on track. This is really essential if you work full-time or part-time or just have a really busy life. You need to make sure that you do the things that bring you joy in the garden and keep those tasks on schedule. Leave me a comment below on some of the bulbs that you grow in your garden and what your experiences are, your likes and dislikes for some of the bulbs, and reasons why. I'd love to hear your feedback. Okay, so that's bulbs planted, and here we go. We're going to take a peek around the garden. I need to go through here, take a walkabout, just to make sure that there's nothing left out that's going to get windswept or damaged by the heavy rains that we're supposed to get. So I hope you enjoyed these last few minutes of looking at the garden on a quick walkabout. And I just want to let you subscribers know that I do really appreciate each and every one of you, the comments that you make, the likes, and just giving me feedback. I recently heard from Jamaica who said that she loves the garden tours that I do. And so I'm really happy to hear about that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And I hope there's more of you out there that regularly watch and give me some feedback and let me know what types of videos that you enjoy the most that I do. Do you like garden tours of my own garden? Do you like me to go out and visit the nurseries? Or do you like a combination? Let me know. Just leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. What an absolute joy the garden has been since the temperatures dropped, the soil is cooled, and we've gotten some rain. So beautiful, and the plants just are really responding. So much green and so many blooms in places I hadn't expected. The salvias have really woken up and they're just blooming and just so pretty and green and vibrant. And oh my goodness, I just love the garden in the fall. So pretty. Both of these little plants here, the mallow and the potato bush, they were both looking really poorly. And since the last few rains we've had, they have just taken on about 3 times their size. And oh man, that just feels good when you see a plant respond that way and come back. And the aeoniums, oh my gosh, look at all the color. So pretty. I'm loving the aeoniums in the garden right now. And I really want to get a lot of different darker shades and just some variety with the aeoniums. Really pretty. And I'm hoping that they cross-pollinate and we get some really pretty different kinds of colors. Wouldn't that be awesome? And you might have seen the Mexican sage is on fire right now. I've got about 3 or 4 Mexican sage. This is the biggest one. But they put on a show a couple times a year, and man, they are beautiful. And we'll take a look at a couple more of those salvias. Oh, this is like, I want to say that's my favorite, the bright pink one. So pretty. And yeah, I need to pick up that box out of the garden and put that away. And the beds are all done. Yay! Spiral's looking pretty good. And these sage salvias, these are doing good too. Everything is loving the rain that we've gotten. And look at all the alyssum I have now. Crazy. It just, one big rain is all it took. And the alyssum came back. And it's just looking awesome right now. And the bright pink from the rock purslane is really lovely. This is a butterfly bush that I got from Iron Pony Nursery, and it's really put on a lot of growth here lately. And there is my climbing thingy. What is it called? Pink jasmine. That's what it is. Pink jasmine. Sorry, guys. All the pretty blooms around the garden. And you know, if you walk by fast enough, you might miss these little things. But so pretty. And in unexpected places, too. I just love that about a garden. It's like every day is a discovery out there. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to be in Ireland, and I just wanted to find out how many of you want to see a video from Ireland. I'll be staying at one of my favorite places in Waterford County and beautiful gardens. And if you'd like to see a stroll through the gardens at Germana House, just give me a shout out below and let me know. Personally, I like the change in the seasons at Germana. Such a big contrast, and I really appreciate fall at Germana House in the garden. So pretty. The changes of the leaves and just the weather. It's so crisp and beautiful. And the view along the Blackwater River just makes it ideal. I love it so much. It's like my home away from home. Now look right down here and you might see it. I believe those are sprouts of some freesias that I planted last year. There's a few mixed in there. And my snapdragons have started to bloom again. And my lion's tail is blooming again. Oh, rain is such a wonderful thing. What an absolute joy this time of year is in the garden. I love it so much. Late fall, early winter. It's like a pre-spring to me. So pretty. Hard to believe it, but pretty soon I'll be doing some winter sowing and getting some seedlings started indoors. Time passes by so quickly. It's absolutely amazing. What a joy it is to have this blessing of a garden, to be able to experience the outdoors, nature, and God's gifts.